Hey geeks, welcome back to the Geeksider Show. It's time for another Doctor Who review. Tonight we're reviewing Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 3, titled Thin Ice.
If you haven't seen this episode yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler.
So I really enjoyed this episode. It felt very much like a tribute to The Beast Below, which was Matt Smith's second episode as the Doctor. Had the same kind of feel. It ended basically kind of the same way with Pearl Mackie, Bill. She frees the creature instead of keeping it captive,
yeah.
Kind of the same way Amy did.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that as a tribute episode. And this was also, it was really interesting because they traveled in the past. Bill pointed out that, this isn't the greatest time period for me to be in.
Yeah.
And then they actually used her point and illustrated it later on in the episode.
Yeah. And they had used it in a way to prove that somebody was human and not alien, which was really cool.
Yeah. And then the Doctor cold-cocked him,
yeah.
which was awesome. Like, especially Peter Capaldi, he's, one of the older Doctors, especially of New Who. Mm-hmm. And to see him just knock somebody flat on their butt was pretty awesome. I liked it. I liked it a lot, not gonna lie.
So the monster of the week was this space monster under the Thames.
It was like a giant pilot fish almost. It looked like,
yeah.
And it had these little. It had, I assume, were its babies. So maybe there's going to be a lot of them at some point, or were they just like?
No, they were like they had like a symbiotic relationship where
kind of like the fish that follow sharks.
Yeah, like they get the big monster food, because the Doctor even asked them, "What do you get out of it?" Well, and they're fish, so they didn't answer. So we have no idea what they got out of it.
He might speak fish. He speaks baby.
It was a dead fish, so
well,
I don't think he speaks dead fish.
He speaks dead fish. But the monster was really freaky looking. Like, it had these big, friggin' gnarly teeth.
Yeah.
And what was really interesting is they captured this monster in order to use its excrement as kind of a super fuel, pretty much.
Yeah, and what was interesting to me was that the Doctor mentioned that the fuel is actually space travel fuel. Like, it's not meant to just be burnt like coal to keep the city warm. It's meant for space travel. That's why it burns hotter and longer than coal and at a temperature that they can't measure.
So when they blew the chains, I really expected the fish to fly away.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So, for the first time in her relationship with the Doctor, she's really starting to kind of second guess him a little bit. When the child gets eaten, and she's devastated by this. And he's like, we got to move on because more lives are at stake, and they are relying on us, even though they don't really know it.
Yeah.
But we've got to move on to save lives.
Yeah.
And it takes her a while to come around.
Yeah.
But she finally does. But this, I think she might be seeing kind of the cracks in the armor of the Doctor.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see that, how maybe their relationship evolves, where she might idolize him a little less.
Yeah, and I think she's starting to see, at least by the end of this episode, it sure seemed like she's realized that it's not always fun traveling with the Doctor. The first episode, she didn't actually see anybody die, so
her friend, her love interest died, but she didn't witness it.
Yeah,
and I think that's a huge difference we have to mention. That, yes, she did see a dead person, but she didn't witness what happened to her.
Yeah, and it's just she hasn't seen anybody die in these travels with the Doctor yet. So this one here is kind of like, yeah, she was scared in the first one, but because nothing actually happened to anyone, it didn't really, I don't think it sunk in that, like, she was like, oh, it was like watching a scary movie. You're scared, then afterwards you're like, oh, but I wasn't actually in danger. And I think that's how she felt about their first adventure, was she was scared, but it wasn't actually in danger.
And even the second episode of this series, Smile, all of the deaths happened before they arrived. This is the first time she's seen, first of all, it was a kid who died.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference as well. And the Doctor was there and couldn't save him.
Yeah.
And I think that really kind of affected Bill as well. And to see the Doctor not be as impacted by it as she was, I think that had a big effect on her.
Yeah, and the whole time he's trying to explain things to her, I'm like, tell her you're 2,000 years old. Like, when she's like, how many people have you seen die? How many people have you killed? I'm like, tell her you're over 2,000 years old. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Like, she's thinking you have a normal human lifespan, and if you are only, like, in your, 60s...
He's like 58 or something like that. He's not a super old man.
Like 50s, 60s, and you've lost count of the amount of people you've seen die. Oh my God, that's what are you doing?
Just
ew. Like that's just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But he's 2,000 years old, and he was in a war.
Yeah,
like
which
I
he's
feel
never
like
mentioned
yeah, and I'm like you have it's like he doesn't want her to justify him. Or he doesn't want to help her justify things about him. He wants her to figure it out on her own.
So moving to the very end of the episode, there's the knocking on the vault. And I don't know who's in the vault. It wasn't revealed at the end of the episode. Maybe it gets revealed in the sneak peek for next episode during the class show, which we're not watching right now. We'll watch that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, but we're still like an episode or two behind.
On class, yes.
Yeah, they were just an episode behind.
Yeah, so we need to get caught up on class. And so don't know what's in the vault. Please don't spoil it for us in the comments.
Don't.
One thing I do want to mention before we end this video is we do like a virtual watch party where we live stream us watching various shows, and you can join us and talk to us in the chat as we watch, and discuss the show and whether we like, whether we're enjoying it, or whether we're not, and that kind of thing. I would ask, if you tune in to our watch parties, please don't post a spoiler in the comments. Overall, I'm really super enjoying Series 10 of Doctor Who.
Me
Oh
too.
my God. If it continues like this, I would say this will definitely be among my very favorite series. And 12 is quickly rocketing up to be my Doctor. If it continues like this, if the quality doesn't drop any and he doesn't become a complete jerk, then yeah, he will replace Matt Smith. Peter Capaldi will replace Matt Smith as my Doctor. Alright, I think that's all we have for this video. If you have anything to add, please let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this review, you can tell us by dropping a like on it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you would like to help us grow our channel, you can share this video or any of our other videos on Facebook or Twitter.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.